There's some quality of life upgrades that my account could really make use of. For example, upgrading my coil so it can reload itself, since I'm apparently too lazy to magically load 90 cannonballs at a time. Another short-term goal I have is to get 107 herblore so I can make odor overload salves without having to rely on a boost. That would be a really huge upgrade to my PVM setup. There's quite a few more items on my list as well, so I think it's best that we get started. First, I think I'm going to upgrade my cannon. To do this, I'm going to need 100% respect with the Artisan's Workshop. I'm already super close with 89%, and if I remember correctly, you can get 1% respect for every 10,000 experience you get in the workshop, so to make the grind as fast as possible, I spent a little extra money on making burial sets. You destroy the armor sets in the process, so I'm not going to be making any money back from this, but that's fine because we'll make it back somewhere. And there we go, 100% respect, and I can now purchase the upgrade for my cannon. I think I'm going to go do my Abyssal Demon Slayer task and try it out. This cannon upgrade is actually really good. I love Slayer and I plan on getting 120 eventually, so this is a huge upgrade for me. With my cannon upgraded, I can now head to Prif to collect some harmonic dust, because I need 4,000 of these dust bunnies to make my glorified Orichalcomatic into a crystal one. Now, the Crystalmatic isn't my best option to grind a 99 Archaeology, so we're going to be looking into getting an Mkondomatic, but that'll come later. For now, I'm going to play some beautiful music while I let dust collect in my pockets. At a rate of 700 dust per hour, I'm going to be here for a little while, but it really shouldn't be that bad. I just wish the harps would stay tuned for more than 3 seconds at a time. 4,000 harmonic dust later, I was able to pay my good friend Ithel a visit so she could sing my Matic into a crystal one. So at this point, a normal person would head to the Warforged to start collecting metal parts to make the Mkondomatic, but I'm more of a procrastinator myself, and my brain has commanded me to do something with this pile of raw sharks in my bank. So I decided to cook them because they're pretty decent food for any PVM activities I don't want to waste more expensive food on. So I built a fire to... wait, no. I want to cook them into Cooking Guild because there's something in my brain that wants to make this way more complicated. The problem here is that this fella named Romilly thinks he's Gordon Ramsay and has a complex that makes his stovetop better than everyone else's. The only way he's going to let me access his exclusive stove is to use a cat to catch 100 rats. I don't see why that's relevant, but fine. Alright, slaughter monsters in the Stronghold of Security and use their bones to make a magical scepter. Is this some Rag and Bowman stuff? Because I'm not about to boil bones for an hour again. What else? Bake a wild pie and give it to Romilly? Wait a second, is this what it's all about, dude? If you wanted a pie, you should have just said so. I got you. Here, eat up. I made that with 100 rats. Huh? Romilly eventually let me use his stove, and after my brain was satisfied with the amount of sharks that were cooked, I headed over to the Anachronia farm to check up on my Jurassic Park. I did a little mining earlier and got the remote totem middle piece, so I need to hand in some dinosaurs to eventually get the top. The dinosaurs aren't quite ready to be turned into beans yet, but I did however get 98 farming. I'm getting really close to maxing, and after farming that only leaves 2 skills left. On the subject of skills, we got a new quest today called Ancient Awakening that when you finish it, it gives you access to a botanist who will make unfinished overload potions. And I don't know if you've seen this yet or not, but it's absolutely insane. You can straight up turn noted ingredients into unfinished potions, then just one click create the whole inventory of overloads. It's an absolute game changer and I want that. So let's get started on the quest. And just in case any of you haven't done the new quest yet, I'll spare you the spoilers, but I will say that the island you go to is extremely cool. There's the quest completed, and with the botanist unlocked, I decided to just drop a bag on overload since I had plans to get 107 herblore anyway, and I'm going to need the potions for some PVM collection log grinding in the future. I made a bunch of overloads, but ultimately decided to switch over to making sticky bombs for a while so I could stand with these fellas using cinder quartz. I ended up getting 104 and 105 herblore. I'm getting really close to that 107 goal. I was about to go back and check on my dinosaurs again when I randomly thought about miscellanea, and since we're on the subject of quality of life stuff, I think that the miscellanea collection could have some benefits. It's probably useful to have something like logs around, even if I just use them for simple parts or something. Now, it's been a long time since I've checked my miscellanea, and I mean a long time. It's literally been, Jesus Christ, it's literally been 12 years since I last checked my resources. I went and looked and there was nothing in there because I forgot to put any money back, but I've already got my approval rating back up and I deposited some money to get started. Okay, back to dinosaurs. Some of these are ready to be turned in for beans, so let's see if we can get lucky on that totem piece. Hey, there we go. Now that I have the totem top, I'll be looking for the bottom sometime soon. I have quite a few quests to do for that, so that's going to be more of a medium to long term goal, but in the meantime there's still a few more things I'd like to get to advance the quality of life on this account a little more. I really enjoy doing clue scrolls despite what the stack of clues in my bank right now suggests. One thing I always see when I'm doing clues is the Evil Dave spellbook teleports. This spellbook allows you to chip teleport tabs so that when you teleport to them, you get sent to an alternate location. There's one teleport in particular that teleports you directly to the courtyard in West Ardoyne, so instead of walking all the way there every time I get a clue step, I'm just going to teleport there, and that makes it a lot faster. To get access to this spellbook, you have to do Evil Dave's Big Day Out, which was kind of a fun quest, honestly. I did a lot of chores, almost started a war between Zamorak and Saradomin, and managed to get Dave quadruple grounded, whatever that means. But now that I have the book, I can just add teletabs to it, and that's just another small quality of life improvement for the account. It's nothing major, but it's for sure something I've been meaning to do for a while. Okay, after that short procrastination journey, it's time to get back to the Mkondo-matic. The Warforged dig site is a level 76 archaeology site. The Warforged was previously an underground military institution for the Bandosian military. It was used primarily to train goblins in the art of war. At some point, Bandosian followers kidnapped an Mkondo dwarf named Thalman and forced him to make weapons for the Bandosians. All of Thalman's work eventually culminated into the creation of this forge. He used the forge to create something called Warforged Bronze and used it to make weapons for the Bandosians. However, right before Bandos was banished at the end of the God Wars, he collapsed the facility, leaving no way in or out, and that's where I come in. I get to work clearing the barricade at the entrance of the tunnels, and after eventually making my way through it, I came across a giant metal door, which I'm going to need a total of 12 keys to get into. Well, 11 if you don't count the one that's already in the door. So the search for the keys begins. I did some mining, some fishing, some Indiana Jonesing, and some excavating. Eventually finding all the keys I need to open the forge, and it's really cool that you can tell that this was built by someone other than the Bandosians just based on the contrast with the structures outside the forge. It just looks so out of place. Anyway, now for the important part, locating the Mkondo metal pieces. This is just a matter of excavating the archaeology spots. I work my way up to different spots by level because I don't have any of these collections done, so I might as well collect artifacts while I'm here. There's Mkondo piece 1. I just got the second Mkondo piece. There's piece number 3, only one more to go. And piece number 4. Now I have all the pieces, and I get to talk to my favorite NPC in the game. I'm headed now to go see Thurgo, and you know damn well I'm bringing him a red berry pie. So Thurgo, being the absolute champion he is, he taught me how to work with the Mkondo metal. Armed with the knowledge of Thalman, I went back to his forge and finally put the pieces together. I put my pneumatic on my tool belt to replace the crystal one that I'd just gotten, and now I have an even better upgrade for archaeology. I plan on augmenting the Mkondo-matic at some point, and then I plan to replace it with a matic of time and space once I have the level for it. I tested out my Mkondo-matic for a little while and got a few tomes. I turned those in and they got me to 95 archaeology. I also managed to get 99 farming, and to round it all off I spent a bunch of money on building the tier 3 guardhouse at the fort so I could cross 99 construction off my list. This also just happens to be the last skills I need for the artisan cape, so let's go make that. The cape is pretty cool looking, but what the hell is this helmet? With that done, there's only one thing left to do to finish off my short-term goal for this week, and that's to get 107 herblore. So I made my way to World 84 to go to Fort 4 and 3 to finish off the grind. And if you've never experienced skilling with everyone in World 84, you should really give it a try sometime. Not for fun exactly, but for the experience. It's a wonderful place. I think I'm going to finish off the rest of these overloads in my bank so I can have them later to make salves once I get 107. To get the rest of the XP, I'm going to need to swap over to making sticky bombs. There's 106 herblore. We're getting really close, only one more level to go. And there's 107 herblore. I can now make the salves that I've been looking forward to doing, and we can use my new botanist bench to make them so much faster. I am about to spend a lot of money. I think I'm going to start off by buying 300 of each potion I need, because I think 300 salves is probably pretty good for now. We're going to start off by making Supreme Overloads, so let's get those out of the way. Alright, Supreme Overload's done, now to move on to the Elders. Wait, I forgot to get Fellstalk. Okay, now we should be good, and I can't express how awesome this botanist workbench is. Being able to have all the overloads in one slot is just so good. Alright, Elder Overloads are done, and now it's time for the finale. We're finally making some salves. I made some of these a while back using boosts, but this is so much better not to have to worry about that. Alright, that's the last of the salves, and with that we now have 300 overload salves. I'm just going to turn these leftover regular overloads into flasks real quick. Alright, now that leaves us with over 500 normal overload flasks. I think I'm set for a while. So in this episode, we have obtained a self-loading cannon, we got our crystal-matic, and then got an Mkondo-matic. We now have Evil Dave's spellbook, completed the Varrock Hard Diary, and finally got 107 herblore to make us 300 overload salves. I feel like I've made some pretty solid progress in the last week or so, and my account feels a lot better now with some quality of life. But in true RuneScape fashion, I'm not even close to being finished with upgrades. I still have a really long way to go. Not to mention I'm about to max for the first time ever in 15 years of playing RuneScape. This has been a really exciting few months, so I'm glad that you guys are here for the journey. I think that's going to do it for this episode, and I appreciate you guys for watching. I really hope to see you next time.